Hey everybody, it's Pastor Tiffany, and I'm coming to you with our daily check-in. It is Thursday, July the 16th, 2020. It is a beautiful day out here, although I must say it is a bit warm with the sun shining. Alrighty, our trivia. Who was king when Daniel was thrown into the lion's den? Now, when I read that question, I thought it was Nebuchadnezzar. However, I was wrong. Nebuchadnezzar was the king with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Darius was the king with Daniel in the lion's den. That is found in Daniel chapter 6, verses 1 through 16. Way to go, Wangs! Woohoo! Alrighty, today's trivia is, before the days of the kings, when judges ruled over Israel, which judge was a woman? Before the days of the kings, when judges ruled over Israel, which judge was a woman? If you think you know, let me know. Okay, so I was not the only one who thought that it was Nebuchadnezzar, so I thought I would familiarize us with this passage. So I'm going to read the story of Daniel in the lion's den to you. It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 satraps, stationed throughout the whole kingdom, and over them 3 presidents, including Daniel. To these the satraps gave account, so that the king might suffer no loss. Soon Daniel distinguished himself above all the other presidents and satraps, because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king planned to appoint him over the whole kingdom. So the presidents and the satraps tried to find grounds for complaint against Daniel in connection with the kingdom, but they could find no grounds for complaint or any corruption, because he was faithful, and no negligence or corruption could be found in him. The men said, "We shall not find any ground for complaint against this Daniel unless we find it in connection with the law of his God." So the presidents and satraps conspired and came to the king and said to him, "O King Darius, live forever." All the presidents of the kingdom, the prefects and the satraps, the counselors and the governors are agreed that the king should establish an ordinance and enforce an interdict that whoever prays to anyone, divine or human, for 30 days, except you, O king, shall be thrown into a den of lions. Now, O king, establish the interdict and sign the document, so that it cannot be changed according to the law of Medes and the Persians, which cannot be revoked. Therefore King Darius signed the document and interdict. Although Daniel knew that the document had been signed, he continued to go to his house, which had windows in its upper room open toward Jerusalem, and to get down on his knees 3 times a day to pray to his God and praise him, just as he had done previously. The conspirators came and found Daniel praying and seeking mercy before his God. Then they approached the king and said concerning the interdict, "O king, did you not sign an interdict that anyone who prays to anyone, divine or human, within 30 days except to you, O king, shall be thrown into a den of lions?" The king answered, "The thing stands fast, according to the law of Medes and Persians, which cannot be revoked." Then they responded to the king, "Daniel, one of the exiles from Judah, pays no attention to you, O king, or to the interdict you have signed, but he is saying his prayers 3 times a day." When the king heard the charge, he was very much distressed. He was determined to save Daniel, and until the sun went down, he made every effort to rescue him. Then the conspirators came to the king and said to him, "Know, O king, that it is a law of the Medes and the Persians that no interdict or ordinance that the king establishes can be changed." Then the king gave the command, and Daniel was brought and thrown into the den of lions. The king said to Daniel, "May your God, whom you faithfully serve, deliver you." A stone was brought and laid on the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet and with the signet of his lord, so that nothing might be changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went to the palace and spent the night fasting. No food was brought to him, and sleep fled from him. Then, at break of day, the king got up and hurried to the den of lions. When he came near the den where Daniel was, he cried out anxiously to Daniel, "O Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you faithfully serve, been able to deliver you from the lions?" Daniel then said to the king, "O king, live forever. My God sent his angel and shut the lions' mouths so that they would not hurt me, because I was found blameless before him, and also before you, O king. I have done no wrong." Then the king was exceedingly glad and commanded that Daniel be taken up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no kind of harm was found on him, because he had trusted in his God. The king gave a command, and those who had accused Daniel were brought and thrown into the den of lions, they, their children, and their wives. Before they reached the bottom of the den of lions, the lions overpowered them and broke all their bones in pieces. Then King Darius wrote to all peoples and nations of every language throughout the whole world, "May you have abundant prosperity. I make a decree that in all my royal dominion people should tremble and fear before the God of Daniel. For he is the living God, enduring forever. His kingdom shall never be destroyed, and his dominion has no end. He delivers and rescues. He works signs and wonders in heaven and on earth, for he has saved Daniel from the power of the lions." So this Daniel prospered during the reign of Darius and the reign of Cyrus the Persian. Alrighty, just in case you forgot that story, there it is again. Okay, a reminder, on Saturday we're having a picnic at 6 o'clock outside the church. Bring something to sit on, a chair, a blanket, whatever you want to do. Bring some food to eat, preferably something that you like, because we cannot share with one another. And we're just going to have a time of fellowship and social distancing outside underneath the trees in front of the church. So that's a reminder for Saturday at 6 o'clock. Hope to see you there. Alrighty, also in-person and online services on Sunday. So take your pick, whichever one you would prefer to do is fine with me. Alrighty, can't wait to see you again. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, may God richly bless you.